Monday. Woo! But we turned it into a fun day. Let's believe that. UFC, this past weekend, Crain and Company was there representing. And guess what? New best friend, Dana White.
Going to Vegas?
Going to Vegas this week for Power Slap.
Let's go.
Invite only.
Let's go.
Moving up, man. Remember that time that
I've been working on my tech.
Yeah, you remember that?
Oh, you're going to get involved?
I've been working on my tech.
Oh, you're gonna go up there and Power Slap?
Waking up, hitting the bands every morning.
Every morning.
Every morning. We're talking here.
Slapping the first person you walk out.
He's saying that on
Absolutely.
Monday.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to say that on Wednesday.
I'm virtually slapping people. In
So
my
we're
lap.
going. So we're going out there.
Yep.
This week. There's no weight class.
I'm pretty sure there's no weight
Pretty
class.
sure there's no weight class. We'll fact check that. But look, man,
It's a new
excited.
thing. It's a hot thing right now.
It is
We've got
super hot.
look, 100 million views in Indonesia. I didn't even know there's 100 million people in Indonesia.
is there?
I don't know. Apparently,
They got the views.
they got the views.
Or it's just one guy who just watches it all the
It's a
time.
real Matrix situation.
He must love Power Slap. The Pac-12 conference is down to 4 schools after the departure of 5 more programs. Alvin Kamara receives a 3-game suspension to start the NFL season, and the U.S. women's national team gets knocked out of the World Cup. Thanks, Megan. I'm Jake Crain, and welcome to Crain and Company. Now, conference realignment is obviously a big deal. It's something we, as members of the sports media, have to talk about. But to be honest, at this point, I'm really about sick of it this close to the season. It's one of the many big changes that we've seen in college football lately. You can add NIL and the transfer portal to that. And it's something that is going to continue to be a big deal, including, us having to update you on the latest news pretty much anytime something happens. But let's not forget to keep the main thing the main thing. And that's that the on-the-field product in college football is better than it's ever been. And if you're like many college football fans that are worried about the direction of the sport, just please do not forget that. Now, what makes college football great isn't any of these new big changes. It's that while many things have changed, the most important things haven't. That feeling of pride and emotion you get when your team runs out of the tunnel, that pit in your stomach right before kickoff or before that recruit picks a hat off the table, the camaraderie at the tailgate or in town the week before talking about your team, the celebration after a big play or a big win where you high five or hug the person next to you, that transcends politics or the divisiveness that's taken over our culture. That is what makes college football great. The way your team represents your town that may not be some huge city or metropolis, because every Saturday, it's your way of life versus theirs. Now, I think the biggest fear we college football fans have is that change is going to take that away. But if you really think about it, it's pretty much impossible to take it away because it's ingrained in our DNA. It's a staple of who we are. And we here at Crain and Company, we'll discuss these changes because we have to. But I promise you, it will never overshadow what we talk about that's happening on the field or get in our way of helping you win the water cooler, as we call it here. We love this game, and we love this job, and we can offer you a perspective that will get you closer to the field than just about anyone. We've all done it before at a very high level. So while all of this realignment, NIL, and transfer portal talk may scare you, and to some extent, I think it should, never forget that here in a couple Saturdays, our beautiful game is back, and the discussion will shift to what takes place on that big rectangle that's 100 yards long and 53 1/3 yards wide. And thank God for that. So we can talk about the changes, but never forget the constant. This is our damn sport, and we love it. And we share that love through generations, and nothing can take that away. And here in a couple weeks, when you're in your seat at the game or pacing in front of the TV, waiting to see what your team's going to be about this year, count yourself lucky because it's back, baby. And on the field, it's never been better. I'm going to bring in my co-host, David Cohn, former Michigan quarterback, former Western State, Colorado wide receiver, Blaine Crain. Look, I can get frustrated as much as anybody. It's a big deal, right? We got to talk about it, whether you like it, whether you don't like it. But this game, the engine of this game is what happens on the field. Because if your team goes out there and plays well that opening weekend, you're not going to care that Washington's going to the Big Ten. That's what you're going to care about, at least during the season. Talking season's fun. Walking season's better. I get DMs all the time. Jake, I'm worried about college football. I'm worried about the direction. We talk about it on here. And I get that. And I'm not saying you brush that under the rug, right? Or you obviously can have opinions on it. But the on-the-field product will always be what pushes this game the most. And right now, man, from sea to shining sea, it's looking pretty good.
Well, the reason people are messaging you saying, Jake, I have concerns for college football is because they love it, right? Almost everyone listening right now loves college football. Certainly everyone in this room loves it. And when you love something, you don't want to see it change too much, right? You are concerned about its future, even though sometimes change can be good. But we're talking about, seismic shifts right now across the sport. So, of course, everyone's paying a close attention to it. And I do hate it for the Pac-12 right now, mostly because, ironically, I think they're going to have the best season on the football field that they've had in quite some time this upcoming year. And I think Pac-12 fans should at least look forward to that, especially with the caliber of play they're going to bring to the table. And I also hate it for a lot of the other sports because that's where it gets very complicated. And you saw Missouri head coach Eli Drinkowitz sort of break that down this weekend, talking about what does this mean for softball teams and for the golf programs and things like that. But when you're talking about the sports that drive the most revenue, football being chief among them, the decisions are going to be made around football. And as far as college football is concerned, of course it can survive conference realignment, right? Like, I've never known anything other than Arkansas being in the SEC. And it's no problem for me. That's created some great rivalries, right? And so I think new rivalries will be created and, we will lose some other ones, which is disappointing. But the one thing that I think we need to be most concerned about is the loss in regionality. And I don't just mean in terms of games played. Yes, there's a reason why Duke and North Carolina is one of the greatest rivalry sports. And Auburn, Alabama, because of the proximity. I get that. But Notre Dame, USC is a great rivalry too. You can create those things across the country geographically. I'm talking about the regional support. That's the thing I'm most concerned with as more and more TV money starts to grow. Because there are not going to be any professional sports teams coming to Tuscaloosa or Auburn, Alabama. There's not going to be any professional sports teams coming to Statesboro, Georgia, or Ann Arbor, Michigan. That's where I get the most concerned, is that as long as we don't lose that regional feel and approach to college football, then I think it can survive things like conference realignment and name, image, and likeness, and even the transfer portal.
Yeah, and Blaine, I don't want to make it sound like I think all this change is bad. I think the premise behind some of it, players being able to get paid for their name, image, and likeness, I'm a fan of, okay? Players being able to, the transfer portal, I think it needs to be tweaked. I think there's certain things that need to be changed there, and we'll get into that eventually. But I think it's more about the way it got rolled out with no rules all together at once. It's like, it's people say, oh, some people are afraid of change. Okay, well, if some people are afraid of change, one change, especially if it's a big change, maybe a medium-sized change, hell, even a small change, you change like 4 huge things within the sport within like 2 years. So I don't want to come off as old man screaming at the clouds, but when you let things out, when you just let the monster, Dr. Frankenstein just opens the door and let the monster go out there and start ripping villagers apart, you can't get pissed off and then say, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't have let him out of the house. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, all this change is so quick. It's scary, obviously, especially for something you love. But I just don't think we'll be talking about this at all in a week and a half.
I agree with you. I hope so.
It'll be completely out of the window. We'll be back to football. And then once football ends, we'll start doing this again. So obviously it's a scary thing to deal with because you just don't know the answers. We can sit here and act like, it did get rolled out quick, but we don't have a definitive answer to fix this, right? It's all about, look, at the end of the day, it's just about money. Like, it's a business.
Without a doubt.
So about conferences, it's a business. It's either you're the hunted or you're the hunter. All right, and you see what's happening with the Pac-12 right now. I don't know if there's something right now in this world other than the asteroid hitting that could take down college football. Like, from even questioning the college football being to go out there every Saturday and play. That'll never happen. It's scary. We can talk about it for now. It's everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. I get it. I'm sick of talking about it. In 2 weeks, we'll be kicking footballs off, and I can't wait to watch LSU and Florida State go toe-to-toe for 4 damn quarters.
Without a doubt. And look, we're taking your live calls today. We want to know what you think about it. All right, we're going to open those up a little bit earlier. right at about 7:15 a.m. Central, 8:15 a.m. Eastern. We want to know what you think about it. We want to know what you think about conference realignment and all that stuff. We're men of the people. We want to talk to the people and see what they do.
It's really weird for a school like Stanford, because Stanford is so good at every other sport, basically. But because they haven't gone all in on the big revenue drivers, football and basketball, they're sort of left out there right now. I mean, they are top tier in every other sport, especially when it comes to those Olympic sports. So for schools like that, it's really weird. Oregon State, Oregon State getting left by Oregon, same way that Oklahoma State's getting left by
Washington, leaving Washington
kudos
State.
to the Big 12, too. Because we were all together when that news broke. We were at SEC Media Days when that news broke that Texas and Oklahoma were leaving the Big 12. And we thought then, this is going to be the death of that conference, and we'll be left with 4, right? Because the Pac-12 and the ACC, and then you got the Big 10, the SEC. Well, they did their due diligence, man. They got those 4 teams that are coming in this year. And now look at the way they've been able to survive.
Yeah, well, Brett Yormark and the Big 12, I mean, they had to wake up and they did it quick. Remember in the chat, if you donate, your question gets asked. Let's make sure you hit subscribe. Look, we're less than 6,000 away from 100,000 subs on YouTube. Hit that sub button, hit that like button. I can feel the chat buzzing from over here. We're going to get there in 1 second. But speaking about waking up, all right, summer's in full swing. All right, you don't always have time to brew your coffee, but you got to, in my routine, coffee's a part of it. Hell, at this point, I don't even know if caffeine affects me. It may be a placebo effect. But I'm big on the taste, all right? I'm big on the product, and I'm big on who's behind it. And our friends over at Black Rifle, they have their new ready-to-drink cans as well. So it's not, if you don't have time to get up and be able to brew it, you can go get one of those ready-to-drink cans. It's perfect for people who need their coffee quickly. They've got great flavors with 200 milligrams of caffeine, vanilla bomb, salted caramel, mocha, and vanilla caramel. That's really all you need. I mean, you take that back 100 years ago, and people are going to be, their minds will be blown by it. But it's also a veteran-founded coffee company. It's operated by principal men and women, which means a lot to us. So stop running out of coffee and sign up for a coffee club subscription as well. They make it really, really easy. What do you got over there, David?
Headless Horseman's Roast.
Yes.
Ichabod. It's Ichabod with the pumpkin, fire pumpkin.
You want to know why his head's not there? Because he drank that coffee and blew his mind.
Pumpkin spice.
And he's still alive, though, and happy. What do you got?
Living that gunship life.
Yeah, surprise.
Enemy AC 130 up above. Never mind, it's just Black Rifle coffee to make your morning great.
Yeah, you know what they say about the AC 130? If you can hear it, you're already dead. Save money and drink America's coffee. Go to blackriflecoffee.com. Use our promo code BOOSTER, that's BOOSTER, at checkout for 10% off your one-time purchase or first coffee club order. That's blackriflecoffee.com. Promo code BOOSTER helps them out, helps us out for 10% off and helps you out. You can also find Black Rifle Coffee in grocery and convenience stores near you, but you can't go up to their cash register and say code BOOSTER and they don't give you 10% off. That's not how it works. So go to blackriflecoffee.com, use that promo code BOOSTER. Speaking of Booster, let's get to the Booster Club.
Let's get to Ryan Gade with a $2 donation there. I'm saying Gade, by the way.
Yeah.
Make sure everyone
get
knows
it twisted.
He's a $2 donation. Appreciate it. He says Pac-12 after dark became Pac-12 in the dark.
4 teams, Pac-4, smoking that 4-pack. The question now becomes, and this is where I think you got to give Brett Yormark credit. I think he's been calculated and aggressive. Calculated aggression? Yeah, that sounds right. There's not a lot of brands out there that can help save you, right? The Big 12 went and scooped up 4 of the best ones. So if you're the Pac-12 now and you're looking out there, who's going to save you? Boise State ain't going to save you. I don't know if Boise State would come. We had a caller last week say, my whole life as a Boise State fan, I wish we could be part of the Pac-12. Now, I don't know. It did one of these, like Hall Pass, and all of a sudden she's not looking as good as what she looked at like she was across the bar. Fresno State, not going to save you. And this isn't a knock on any of these programs, but let's be honest. I mean, at this point, you're better off just merging with the Mountain West, I guess, and seeing how it goes. So there's only a certain amount of brands plus markets that can help you. UCF, big brand, big market. Houston, big brand, big market. BYU, hell, that's a religion. Congratulations, that's a huge one. And then you look at Cincinnati, big brand, just made the playoff, big market.
What about San Diego State? Now that they've exited, what are they going to?
Well, now they took it back. Did you see that? They're like, no, we're taking that back.
Wow.
To the Mountain West. So they're choosing the Mountain West over the Pac. Think about
Pac-12's done.
Well, oh yeah, they're done. They're absolutely done.
They're on life support right now, but
I mean, the question now is what's your next move? And now your deal is for Apple streaming for $13. It's like that part on Eastbound and Down when Kenny Powers walks into Jackie Schaefer's dealership and he's like, listen, man, you need to up your marketing game. He's like, how about a celebrity appearance? You got a fine establishment here and it's only going to cost you $3,000. And Jackie Schaefer looks at him, he's like, I'm gonna pay you $100.
Give you $100.
That's exactly what it's like.
The people in Palo Alto, who would have thought?
Yep.
Yeah.
Get the TV deals figured out.
Man, they got it tough, don't they?
Go to Troy Jacobs, $20 donation. Appreciate it, Troy. So today, my oldest son Eli starts tackle football.
Yeah.
Could you three each tell him what the best part of youth football was for each of y'all? Then could any of you give me a little pep talk to get me ready to coach his team?
Number one, best part about youth football is the purity of it. Even high school football nowadays, there's not saying corruptions like it's in Gotham City. I'm not trying to make it seem like you're gonna be fighting the Penguin and Joker every week, but the purity of the game. As far number one, see what you hit, keep your head up. As far as pep talk coaching, go get after them, man. Doesn't matter what level it is, it's football. It's that smell when you walk out there, right? Seeing guys put the pads on, even if they're 9 years old. It's like I mentioned earlier, it's a way of life. It's a lot of fun, serious, but they're also still kids. A lot of it, though, is fundamentals. You can have a huge impact on how good that kid is down the road by the fundamentals that you teach them right now. So you've got a very, very important job. Some could say the most important job of their football career.
I think for those young kids like playing Pop Warner, the best thing is to, for the first time, be able to learn accountability. Because think about it, at that age, before you get involved in team sports, and not just football, but any team sports, you hadn't really had to be accountable. Your parents are feeding you and, you got shelter, but now you go out there and it's all of a sudden, if I make a mistake, there are physical consequences for someone else, and he may be my best friend.
That's exactly right. Like for the first time, you could blow it.
You could really blow it, and the responsibility is, it's a little bit smaller, but hey, you do well at that, then you play middle school football. You do well at that, you play high school football. Who knows where it goes?
Hey, man, let's learn where to line up. All right? Let's learn where to line up, no matter the position. Let's learn where to line up. And from a coaching standpoint, just go out there and yell at some refs for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
That's what youth football.
You want to get out, listen, you're having problems with the wife, maybe it's not going well at work, you take it out on that referee. You go in there and you make it about you.
Every single one of them. Let's go to Nathan Johnson, $10 donation.
Nay.
Appreciate it, Nate. Biggest problem that needs to be resolved in NIL. There always have been conference realignment for years. Don't forget, Tulane used to be in the SEC.
Yeah.
And South Carolina used to be Kelly Clarkson.
Well, that's one thing. I didn't hear anybody complaining when these smaller conferences were moving, going back and forth. But all of a sudden, you start getting SEC and Big Ten and everybody else involved, which makes sense. I mean, you climb up the ladder, there's more money. I do get that. That's why, again, I think that's a positive or a notch in the positive side of, hey, everything's going to be all right. Let's all hold hands and look at each other and be happy about it. But yeah, we've had conference realignment for a while. I mean, even Drink talking about it, Missouri left the Big 12 to go to the SEC. Now, regionality, that's like on the fringe of how big the jump is, right? Because like Texas going to the SEC, Texas and the Southeastern Conference, I could see it. I can see it, right? I mean, Louisiana's in there.
I mean, West Virginia
Arkansas is in there.
12, but it's like, are you losing any regional support?
Yeah,
that's the thing.
That's the biggest thing.
If West Virginia is playing schools all the way across the country, or UCLA is now going to play all schools in the Midwest, is the regional support still going to be there when all of those matchups happen? That's what I'm interested in, as the TV dollars outpace gate revenue, which that's been happening for decade after decade, right? But now I think we're finally seeing dominoes fall from that.
Speaking about revenue, go check out some of our merch, too, as well. We got some great stuff there. We got some new ideas. We want to put some more stuff in the shop, but we need you to buy out what we have. Some really, really cool stuff. Real Daily Wire, go check it out. Crain & Company, go to Originals. Really easy to find. We got great candles, Flaming Dragon candle, right? Which protects you actually in some weird way, protects you from getting your house burned down by the Flaming Dragon.
That is true.
From 8:30 at night to 7 in the morning, your house will be protected by dragons.
Yes. So congrats if you have that. If not, there's also a Get Off My Lawn candle, which has its own witchery. But like, again, if you want to be attacked by dragons, then don't get the candle. Just remember, you're the one that puts your family at risk.
What about Sean Peterson with the $2 donation here?
Shawnee P?
Sean, thank you, brother. This is ESPN is mid. Obviously, CNC's the GOAT.
Yes.
And LSU will win at Alabama.
By the way, did you see Cowherd picked LSU to beat Michigan in the Natty?
Really?
Yes. See, again,
So you're telling me there's a chance?
We got mad love for Cowherd. People that make predictions before the end of fall camp, I'm telling you, you're playing a dangerous game. You're playing a dangerous. I know. You want to know how I know you've never been in it, whether it's coaching or playing? You make predictions before the end of fall camp. Somebody's getting hurt. It's going to happen.
It's like drafting for the preseason.
Yeah.
It's just dumb.
It's just dumb. Well, I don't know why you do it. I want to at least know, if I'm going to be wrong, I want to be wrong with all the cards on the table. Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm not trying to jinx it. J.J. McCarthy,
No.
Something happens. Cat trips him in the morning or some crazy thing
There are
like
no
that.
cats in Ann Arbor.
Somebody wins a job that I didn't
Got
think
rid
was
of
going to.
them.
There's no
Good for
cats.
y'all. Good for y'all.
No
Just because
cats.
in case
Cats
they're
are
black
always
cats,
up to something.
they really are.
They're always up to something.
Except mine, Molly. We love you.
Let's go Surf Potatoes, $2 donation. Here we go, a.k.a. David's dad in the chat. Jake is mid.
I don't get
David
it.
is a star.
I don't get it.
Who's Blaine? Look, I love it. Choose violence.
Sir of
What's that
potatoes.
smell
I
from
don't
the
get
kitchen?
it. I will say I saw
like
pants
wood's
to my
burning.
tits in our college football draft.
Did you really?
Really?
Or no, not the college football one. I think it was the NFL one we did. The Booster Club NFL draft.
So he
fantasy.
lives.
He lives.
Okay.
Peas to my T's. He lives. What else we got, B?
Well, let's go to Aiden Losh. What's up, Aiden? Says ACC is held together by the grant of rights deal.
Ugh.
Their teams can't make any money if they leave early. All the teams want to leave, but at the moment they have no way to make it viable. It's a real escape room situation where you can't escape.
Yeah, well, it's like, here's the thing. Don't ever underestimate lawyers' ability to find something to make an argument about. I don't know the minutia of the grant of rights deal. Basically, I feel like it's like the Azkaban for like ACC teams, for like Florida State. Like you said, escape room. Like, where is it? Like, I
But
feel like the kid.
and there's
I feel
no
like
key.
Florida State's like the kid from the Maze Runner. Just run around trying to find a way out. Do I climb over it? Do I go around it? I don't
Did they ever
trust what's
find the way out in the Maze Runner?
I don't
Made like
know.
8 movies. I think.
After 30 minutes, I was trying to find my way out.
Yeah.
But I do see, like, if ESPN has a grant of rights deal, ESPN also has the SEC TV
Yes.
media rights deal. If there's any way, like, if there's any wiggle room there, it's got to be to the SEC, right? Say, all right, listen, we own both the TV deals. Because if, let's say, the only way to go to the Big Ten is if ESPN, if it just dissolves and ESPN sells it, right? Or gets rid of it. I think they get like $250 million, which, let's not lie, Disney's hurting right now. They're hurting bad. So would it be something that could get to that point? I don't know, but I know those lawyers, they're looking through the files, right? It's like Watergate. They're in there in the filing cabinets with flashlights in the middle of the night trying to find a way to get out of this thing. I just don't know. I don't know how.
Well, see, the ACC doesn't want ESPN to let him out of the contract.
No.
Because that was because if Clemson
No.
and Florida State or maybe even Miami, if those three exit out,
Why?
like
But again-
the ACC's like, no, that's what's holding us together right now.
In the battle of expansion, where does the ACC go? Who do you add?
I know.
Who's there to add? I mean, I don't know. I'm looking around. Notre Dame? Could they save the ACC? Because would Notre Dame save the ACC? I don't think so.
And then you'd have to add like some Coastal, or
You-
App State.
Not
or
enough that would save you. And again,
Well, if you got Notre Dame.
programs. Oh, if you did get Notre Dame's the only lifeline. That's the lifeboat to try and get on. All right, we're gonna get back to the Booster Club. Unless there's something big that I'm missing, you want to get to?
No.
All right, let's go best and worst.
Best and worst. Who's up first?
You go first.
The UFC weekend, man.
Dude, tell
This
them
is
about
just
it, Coney.
Incredible, dude. Dana White rolled out the red carpet for the kids, man. Sitting there front and center with him. We're watching the fights. Nashville fight night. Got to go to Vegas this weekend. See what it's all about at Power Slap. Do we have some of the photos from this weekend?
Throw up some of the memories.
Got an interview with Dana White coming soon.
Steve-O.
Steve-O.
We're boys now.
Steve-O.
We're boys now.
That's
Love it.
I think it was a hit.
I love our friends group right now is our friends group right now is just elevating.
Dude, Candace loves UFC.
Yeah.
Would not have
Huge
guessed
UFC
that.
fan.
And there's Dana right there. God, you guys look giant. Here's the real question.
Braves.
Braves?
Yeah.
You got to get
Coach
him on
Vrabel.
the show, man.
He said we asked him.
Yep.
Said he'll come on the show.
100%.
Good.
And he had some of the Titans players there and their strength and conditioning
Talks
coach.
about
We got
Will
to meet
Levis.
him. So it was awesome. And then not only the fight, but in the boxing world too. Jake Paul against Nate Diaz. You guys catch any of that one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
One
Look, we
by
make fun of
decision.
Jake Paul a lot. And listen, I know I like it. I want to give him credit, right? I want to give Jake Paul credit for winning. I'll do that. But like at some point, like when are you going to start?
That was actually one of my worst, to be honest.
Oh,
Okay, well,
anyway, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. One of my best, Florida State, man. Huge weekend for them.
Yeah.
They get KJ Bolden, number 1 safety in the country. They're now number 4 in the country in on-3 team rankings when it comes to recruiting. They may flip Jalen Perlow as well, who's a 4-star linebacker committed to Georgia. He's really tight with KJ Bolden. And, it's just one of those things where if you remember Mike Norvell early in his tenure at Florida State, because remember, Prime had taken the job at Jackson State. Everybody's talking about Prime's going to be next at FSU. Jackson State's having success. There's some embarrassing stuff that happened at Florida State with Mike Norvell. Then they have a pretty good year last year. Then all of a sudden now, the facilities are getting better. You're top 5 in the country. I know it's still early in recruiting, but Florida State looks like they've got staying power. You get KJ Bolden, which they're not there till they sign. I get that. Who knows? You're probably going to get Jaden Perlow, and you're waiting. You possibly have a chance to have a huge year on the field, starting with game 1 against LSU. So I just want to give Florida State some credit.
Dude, they're going to be a monster.
It's a brand that you know very well, Cone. You grew up being a fan of Florida State. They're a brand that once they get hot, they can get white hot, and they've never been as marketable as they have been now. And Mike Norvell, when he was at Memphis, we were very high on him, what he did there, got the Florida State job. You just had a feeling it would take a little bit of time, but if he figured it out, he's one of those guys that once he figures it out, he can really get it rolling. So we'll see how they do this year. Got a big one week 1, but on the recruiting front, man, it seems like the Tomahawk boys, they're back.
Looking good, man.
They can be a monster.
They
might be a monster pretty quick. My best over the weekend was easy money. Give me the fight in the White Sox Guardians game.
Oh, yeah.
Tim Anderson, Jose Ramirez. We got this video. Run this clip.
First, now
Love it. Here we go.
Look at the let him go. Let him go.
Boom.
Watch him.
Right. Stiff leg.
Pass time. Make baseball great again. Make baseball great again.
And you love, first thing, I love everything about
Cook.
this. All right, first thing right now.
Let him cook.
You immediately know, like the baseball announcers went straight from baseball to about boxing announcers.
Exactly
Just
right.
like that.
Yep.
All right. Over the weekend when it comes to sports, what's the only thing you really heard? Was this fight. All right, I've been an advocate for years now. Baseball, I can fix your game. Not even baseball. Football, you don't have to. It'd make it better. All right? Why can't we do what they do in hockey? Like, why? That's what makes hockey great, the gameplay and the fighting. We could sit down as grown-ups, Rob, being you. We get some other people, Jake and Cody in there as well.
I don't want to be in the same
and we can get some rules set in place to let baseball players fight each other. It will make the game great again. It will. Baseball, you are drowning right now. You are. You can make a pitch clock. You make the bases bigger. You can do TikToks on the field. I don't care. It's not going to fix it. You want to fix baseball, you let them fight. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Nothing about that wasn't awesome. We could get some rules down to get this right.
That's what I was going to ask. Does there need to be protocol, like unwritten rules, like in hockey, where it's like, hey, one-on-one, you can't have.
Sure.
Well, there's already so many unwritten rules in baseball.
Yeah,
so
no one
like
can't jump in. All right, you fight, you sit no time.
So here's where I think it gets. I get it. I'm with you. I agree with that 100%. I don't think, and even for baseball purists, I don't think men who mostly watch baseball, we can say it's men, would be upset about watching that go down every now and then, right? It's how they used to do it back. We can't even take out the catcher now. Like, you used to be able to take the catcher out. You can't even do that now, really. But what happens if you're like, what if somebody on the other team who's like a reserve player wants to fight like Shohei Ohtani? Like, as a manager, I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
No. Because if Shohei Ohtani breaks his hand, like, not that the Angels are going to do anything anyway. I mean, they ruin more good talent than, a blind person in a Miss America pageant.
Your best player.
Yeah, that's your best player. Is there like a sub, like a goon in hockey that goes out there and he's like, listen, I'm not the best at playing hockey.
I'm going to set the tone.
I skate good enough to go over there and whip your ass. That's what I do.
You pick a warrior from the city?
Pick a warrior from the city. You're Vince Papale?
Yeah, I can see that, but I still think both parties have to agree. All right? You just can't run out there and punch somebody.
But then all of a sudden, Shohei says, no, I'm not fighting because I'm Shohei and my team needs me. Everybody looks at him like he's soft or something, when in reality, it's smart. So you give me a good answer to that. You go back to your silent retreat. When you Aaron Rodgers this thing, you go back home. I want you to think about it. And you, or Booster Club, or call in 1-855-236-3228. Let us know what is your answer to that. Then we can move on from there. Because right now, I'm behind it. All right?
I'm telling you.
I'm behind it.
It'll fix the game. It's a movement.
I don't think that's
Bring fighting back in sports.
I do want to say also as well, when it comes to recruiting, gave that shout out to Florida State. Amari Jefferson, committed to Bama, big-time wide receiver. Jalewis Solomon, which I'm going to get to in a second. Nathaniel Frazier, number 1 running back in the 2024 class, committed to Georgia. I'd want to run behind that offensive line too. What a great business decision. And to give Ole Miss some love, Dylan Hipp, 3-star tight end, committed to Ole Miss.
Dylan Hip.
Yeah.
I love it.
Dylon.
I have one more, too, in the college football world here. Eastern Michigan, the captain of the Eastern Michigan football team, Brian Dooley, gave up his scholarship to walk-on offensive lineman Zach Conti, who was having to make ends meet to be able to.
He said he was selling plasma to try.
Selling TVs. And the captain gave up his scholarship. So that's another positive aspect that we may see from NIL. I don't know what his situation is, if he had an NIL deal that allowed him to give up his scholarship, or if he just comes from a little bit more fortunate family. I don't know. But either way, good news out of Ypsilanti.
Yeah, those are the things, again, brotherhood, pass it on. I saw that on social media. Even the head coach is like, I've never heard of anybody asking to do this. And he handed him the scholarship right there in the team meeting room during one of the meetings. Just said, because you see the, hey, you're on scholarship now through the school. But seeing a player give up his scholarship, and it's we don't hear about a lot of these things. It's like with Jalen Carter at Georgia. Like, you heard about all the negative. You heard about all the negative. What they didn't talk about was him buying lunch every day for a non-scholarship player.
Yeah, that non-scholarship.
So he could eat at the training table. You don't hear about stuff like that because negative news sells more than positive, which is sad, but that's just how it is. All right, my worst. We know fan is short for fanatical. Okay, Jalewis Solomon, 4-star corner, had crystal balls, which are predictions to go to South Carolina, right? And Shane Beamer's been killing it. Shane's doing a hell of a job in recruiting. It's fun to be a South Carolina fan again. They're waiting on a big year. But this South Carolina fan, he was not too happy about Auburn going in and stealing this recruit. And he was just mad at basically everyone on the planet. Let's go ahead and run this. Let's run this clip.
And then today, another kid who has crystal balls from South Carolina, from Steve Wilfong, he's the director of recruiting at 24/7 Sports. That proves to you that these people, they don't know. And their jobs right now are basically, they're garbage. They're basically worthless jobs. They're worthless jobs that mean nothing because nothing that you say is true and nothing that you say comes to fruit. You're not, all you are is just like me out here throwing out predictions. Those crystal balls ain't crystal. Those balls are clouded with crap. Hugh Freeze is a scumbag of a coach. He's a scumbag coach. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit human being and a piece of shit coach. And Auburn is a piece of shit program. I'm going ahead and say it. I don't care that you went to Liberty, okay, and you reformed yourself. And oh my God, you saw the light. And I don't believe that. Trash is trash. A leopard don't change his spots overnight, and he's garbage. He's a piece of junk. But you decided to go play for him. Whatever your name is.
So this guy, you go ahead and pause it now. So he was obviously upset. I want to tell you something about Steve Wiltfong. Steve Wiltfong has made 4,377 recruiting predictions. He's hit 4,009 of them.
Wow.
That's literally almost 92%. I don't know if this guy has done 92% of anything right in his life. When you're trying to predict, and I've done this before, it's one of the reasons the J-Boy Show got built up, trying to predict what recruits are going to do, a human being, is very tough because things change at the last moment. The coaches don't even know for 100%. If I looked at a coach and said, 92% of the time, you'll know what a recruit's where they're going to choose, they would take that 1,000 times out of 1,000 times. So this is an upset fan, right, who has a YouTube channel, who's just disparaging everybody. And I get it. This is what makes college football great, right? Fan is short for fanatical. But dog, Steve Wiltfong, 4,009 out of 4,377 human beings that are 17 to 18 years old.
I just love the guy has a picture in his kitchen that says family and love.
I know, right?
And he goes on this rant.
Crystal balls.
Them foggy balls, Paul. Them foggy.
Goodness gracious. So that's my worst there, fellas.
My worst. U.S. women's soccer team knocked from the World Cup in the round of 16. Earliest exit ever. And then Blaine's girl, Megan Rapinoe, missed the penalty kick. Missed the penalty kick in extra time and was laughing about
that haircut gets
smiling on the pitch after she missed the penalty kick. You know what? This is where this is how much we've lost a sense of community in this country, that people were excited to see the U.S. women's team lose. They're not even pulling for them because they're so ungrateful. There's no gratitude. They don't have any, there's no gratitude to be representing your country on the biggest stage and to be reigning back-to-back champions. Instead, they just complain about everything going on in America. And you know what? They got bounced from the World Cup, earliest ever.
Yeah, I don't think they scored a goal in their last 3 games.
238-minute scoring drought.
Yeah, wow. Anyways, my thing is as a former athlete and somebody that's in sports, you want to feel bad, right? And nobody is more American than we are. I will cheer for it. It is so hard to not care, not to root against America. I can't do that, but to not care. But I will say, karma, I think, is a real thing. I do believe it's a real thing. I think what goes around comes around. And I think when you look at Megan Rapinoe, she is one of the most selfish people that I've ever seen. Because deep down, if you want to call a spade, you can look at the men and women's sports thing. She doesn't care about anybody but herself. This wasn't about her team. And if anybody was going to blow it, if anybody was going to be the person that blew it, I'm so glad it was her. So that's what I think.
Well, I think they got to ask what's one memory she's going to take from this. I think it was equal pay?
We have that clip.
The video. I thought the memory was going to be them going to play a bunch of 15-year-old kids in Dallas getting beat 5-1, or getting beat by a bunch of 50-year-olds. What it just says, I wish I could have saw this. Not really, because I was just doing regular stuff in my life. I was the last thing I ever want to watch. But she blew it on a PK when it mattered the most. So maybe a little more patriotism, that ball might have curved into that right corner.
Well, what I've been hearing for the last few years from Megan Rapinoe and others on her team is that the women's team is winning at the highest stage. The men's team is not. So we're more valuable and we should be making more money. If that's true, then why settle for equal pay?
Now you got to give it back.
If you're winning, if you're driving more revenue and making more money.
Now you got to give it back.
It'd be like if I was doing way more than someone else and I'm like, well, I just want to be equal with them. No, I'll make more if I'm doing more. That's how you know that their argument is trash.
Yeah, I just hopefully now we never have to talk about it again. I'm sick of seeing her face. You blew it.
All right, my worst ever of the weekend was the Nate Diaz-Jake Paul fight. I'm sick of watching Jake Paul fight the elderly.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. It's a terrible fight. Everyone knew Jake Paul was going to win this fight. Nate Diaz is 38 years old.
Yeah, he's a UFC fighter.
He's 2 years from 40. The guy's a UFC fight. I get it's just a money play, but I really think Jake needs to rein it in. All right, fight someone younger, closer to his age, maybe a podcast host.
Yeah,
maybe a dragon on a Friday. Like I don't know what I have to do. And the closer we get to Dana, to Vegas, who knows? Might run into him. What's up?
No, I'm with that. I'm with that. Like I
think it's time for him to rein it in. And
think about this in any other aspect, in any other sport. If you went to, I don't know, David Ortiz right now, and you're like a young up and coming, like if you went to Dave Ortiz and was like, hey, let's play pickleball. I want to play pickleball, and you beat him. People wouldn't be going nuts like this.
Yeah.
Like, here's what you do. You want to be a boxer, then box in like a...
He boxed a boxer and lost.
Boxers. If you want to fight UFC... but don't box old people.
You're out here fighting Nate Robinson.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Don't fight little people or old people. Like if Jake Paul's walking in a nursing home picking fights.
Yeah. He's looking at addresses who ordered Life Alert and showing up to their house.
God, yeah. Close to
Jake Paul shows up with his Life Alert.
Yeah.
So you think you're taking Jake Paul, huh?
Think. Think.
Hey, how many rounds?
He's getting knocked out before 5.
I'll say this. I thought Logan Paul, I'm not a big WWE person, but I thought he did a really good job. Like Logan Paul's brother.
That stuff's fake, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Acting's not easy, especially when you're beating up somebody or getting beat up.
It's not?
No, not that. Not that acting.
Did you do it?
Not that acting.
Did you do it?
That would take a lot more time. That takes legitimate physical skill to be able to do that stuff and really kind of sell it. Right? Kind of sell it. But let's get to the Boots Club real quick before we get to NFL Quick Hitch. And then we got calls, 1-855-236.
Let's go to Jariah O with the $5 donation. Appreciate it, Jariah. It says the Pac-12 commissioner read the New York Times bestseller by Brian Hartson, Huddle Up, We Suck.
Huddle Up, We Suck. The newest podcast turned into a book by Brian Hartson and George Klykov.
Let's go to Blake Evans, $5 donation. Appreciate it, Blake. Per the discussion from your All Access from last week, Blaine looks like Glenn Campbell on the Gentle on My Mind album cover. Look it up.
Glenn Campbell.
Glenn Campbell.
There you
Hold
go,
on.
man.
Hold on. Glenn
Why do you know
Campbell.
who that is, David?
Why do I know who Glenn
Gentle?
Campbell is? One of the biggest country music stars ever.
Glenn Campbell?
Yeah.
He does.
No.
No way.
That's a compliment,
No
man.
way.
Look that up.
David, look.
Okay,
On the
cool.
right.
That's a compliment. Look at
Dude,
Glenn
he's a good-looking
Campbell,
cat.
man.
It kind of
Glenn
seems like a
Campbell.
stretch.
He's a good-looking cat. No, that looks
Hey, look,
like him.
I would take that and
Same
run with
hair.
it. As someone who gets called discount Elon Musk.
No,
every day on
David
Twitter,
looks like everybody put together ever. David, he looks a little bit
Can I
like
just look like
everybody.
me?
No,
Can I
he
just
looks.
be me?
David looks a little bit like everybody.
Tired of getting called
David's a
discount.
combination of Elon Musk and Matt Ryan.
No, but again, look, he looks like everybody though. Name one person. Tell me David doesn't kind of look like him.
No, I don't think like David's.
Drew Barrymore.
I'm
I
just-
can
I
see
feel
it.
like we look like more people than David does.
No, hell no. David's an amalgamation.
You know what? You know what's going to fix this? And I'm just going to have to do it now. Mustache. A mustache would fix
You're
it.
not gonna do
Because
it.
the second you
You
go
talk a big
mustache,
game.
the second you
You
go
talk a big
mustache,
game,
it's not
you
like,
won't
oh,
do
you
it.
look like someone
You wanna
else.
know why I
You
know?
You are you. And I bring mustache.
You want to know how
life.
I know you won't do it? Because you're married and I'm married, and I know Darby Lou won't let you do it.
Look, I have to sit her down and have a serious conversation.
Yeah,
Tired of getting
good
called.
luck.
Tired of getting called discount Elon
Yeah,
Musk.
I can't wait for you to sit down and have a. I've had a lot of
There's a-
serious conversations.
There's
Let me-
I hear there's a mustache coming back when college football season starts.
Yeah, I hear there's.
I
Not
believe
one.
that. I heard Blaine Patine's coming back.
I hear you won't even acknowledge your.
You won't hear that. You'll just feel it.
Yeah, I heard he's been looking at your career with great interest.
Yeah.
That's still the funniest, dude.
Oh man. All right, let's go to Cole Freeing, $2 donation. We know
Yep.
what this is. LeBron is mid, MJ's a GOAT, and the Pac-4 is dead.
Yes, all those things are right. I've never seen somebody be more right than Cole Frink just was.
Matty Ice, 1994, also known as Nighthawk. Jake Paul needs to fight someone like Adesanya, probably a lot closer in size too. That if he keeps choosing MMA fighters versus boxers, just fight a boxer.
Just box a
We
box.
got to get creative with
Yeah,
this.
I don't want
guys.
Israel Adesanya to go like the way of water and kick you in the face and knock you out. I get that. That's not a fair fight. You want to be a boxer? Box a boxer in your weight division. Stop going and beating up. Like, who you gonna fight next?
They did
honestly.
they did say something about the rematch being an MMA fight instead of a boxing match, which both of them said they were down for.
Okay,
Nate
now
Diaz?
MMA
Yeah.
fight. Nate
Jake
Diaz
ain't going to do that.
No, Jake
That's what
won't
they
do that.
said.
Bobby,
Jake won't do that. His leg will be so swollen halfway through the first round, it'll look like he's smuggling
like from a
tires.
guy who just got done watching a UFC fight over the weekend.
No.
Like there was points in that fight where like they'd hit the cage and I'm out there like I don't know what's going to happen. One might
Gotta
jump
get
the
ready.
cage. You know, I mean, even Candace and them sometimes were squaring up. So I was like, it's going to get awfully physical.
Get awfully
and
physical
you
and
can hear
emotional.
yourself get kicked. You could hear them get kicked in the calf from a mile away.
Yeah.
It was definitely terrifying to hear it.
But speaking about emotional, my Good Ranchers box showed up yesterday.
Really?
Yes, it did. I got the Butcher's Bundle because I'm an American. That's what I do. And I don't know about you guys, but summer heat in Nashville, it's pretty hot. All right, we're down
It's
here.
a
in
little
the
sticky
South.
up here.
Down here in the dirty. All right. And thanks to the heat and inflation, we're feeling the heat in more ways than one. But the one thing I'm not sweating, you want to know?
What?
Look at me, bud. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. It's thanks to Good Ranchers. My price locked in for 2 years.
There you
That's
go.
right. My
Hey.
interest rate locked into my house, and my meat price is locked in because of Good Ranchers. All right, they're the only meat company that'll lock in your price, okay, with a price lock guarantee since 2021. They've been helping people combat inflation on the meat aisle, as well as the mystery of it too. And turns out, bet y'all didn't know this, 85% of grass-fed beef is imported from overseas. Yeah, it's getting shipped over here. All right, so not only is store-bought meat expensive, it's often low and foreign quality too. Shipping it across the ocean said you can buy here. But when you subscribe to Good Ranchers, you get a guaranteed price and trusted 100% American meat. It's coming from here, our farmers, Good Ranchers. They care about the people, men, women of the people. All right, you, David, cooked a lot with it.
I have
What's your
cooked
favorite
a lot
dish
with
lately?
it. Favorite dish? Look, I still love the bone-in ribeye, but we're on the chicken game, and I saw an update on my shipping. The pork box will be here.
You got the pork box.
under a week.
You got the pork box.
Under a week.
All right.
Okay.
I know it's going to be great, but I want to hear about it after you
Okay,
get
so
it.
I'm going to take a picture for you
Yes.
when I get it, and I'm going to send it to you,
Yes.
and then you can come over
Fucking
and we can
pics?
have some together. Well, explain to people the feeling that you get when you unpack the Butcher's Bundle and you lay it all
It
out.
basically feels like I just won the Revolutionary War.
That's pretty good.
I'm bringing out steaks.
That's pretty
I'm
good
bringing
because
out
you're free
chicken.
and you're alive.
I'm bringing out Wagyu beef. I'm bringing out ground beef. Look, we made speaking of chicken, Reed shredded up some of the chicken. We went barbecue chicken, okay? This weekend, it was fantastic with some peach preserves in it, some
There you
peach
go.
barbecue chicken.
There you go.
Good Lord, we're doing a little chicken parmesan this week. I'm on a chick kick.
Chicken parm?
But chicken kick. I'm married. Don't get it twisted. So visit goodranchers.com. Use our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, for $30 off any box. Could be the pork box. Could be a butcher's box. Heck, it could be the Jake Paul box. But you have to be 75 years old to fight them. With promo code BOOSTER at goodranchers.com. That's goodranchers.com. American meat with a capital A delivered. Skip to NFL quick hits before we get to these calls real quick.
Saints running back Alvin Kamara did finally receive his suspension. It's going to be the first 3 games of the season. This is coming down from Commissioner Roger Goodell, and this stems from the fight he had in Las Vegas in 2022. Your thoughts?
Yeah, 3 games, about what I thought once it got pled down. Talking about meeting with Roger Goodell. Hope he's learned from it. Look, man, you don't have to prove to anybody that you're tough. In general, really, if you, deep down you know you're tough and you're not insecure, you play running back in the league. Y'all have the shortest shelf life of anybody in the league. If anybody's the toughest, it's probably y'all. Because y'all are running it back and forward and side to side and getting blasted, right? You get hit by everybody. Hell, the ref hits you sometimes. So I hope Alvin's learned from it. Saints need him, man. There's a lot of positive momentum right now in New Orleans. I hope Dennis Allen figures it out. Met him down there at Senior Bowl week. Great guy. They need Alvin, and Alvin needs a bounce back year, right? Derek Carr going in there trying to figure it out. Welcome to New Orleans. I really hope that Alvin learns from it. I really hope he does.
3-game suspension, Blaine. This is your friendly reminder that Jim Harbaugh suspended for 4 games, for a hamburger. But either way, Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara.
COVID contact area.
3-game suspension. Where would you draft him in fantasy football?
This is tough because I drafted Alvin last year in a good amount of leagues, and it was a disappointment.
Let you down.
You don't really know until Derek Carr comes
down,
in.
down,
the
down,
one thing about
down,
it,
down.
Alvin just went, once they got to the red zone, he was just off the field, which when it comes to fantasy is bad. This drops him probably to be honest, the 6 to 9 rounds, I would think. Somewhere in there, because you got the first 3 games he will miss is Tennessee at home, all right, you're at Carolina, then you're at Green Bay. If you're a Saints fan, okay, we can deal with that. It could be a lot worse. So if it's me, fantasy-wise, he'd be a tough pick early, especially if you're going to do it.
Is he a late? He's a late guy,
still
especially
there with the 3.
Kind of like
3 only push him down. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if you get Alvin 8th.
Here's the real question:
8th.
Would you rather draft Alvin Kamara or Jameson Williams?
With Jameson Williams, just from a passing
What's his
standpoint.
suspension again? 6 game?
Yeah, it depends on I drafted Hop last year and he was gone 7 games.
Yep.
All right, if you can get him late. All what the draft dictates is what the other people will dictate. You get to you make your bread. You make your money those 5 to 10 rounds.
Exactly right.
That's where late in season in fantasy where you're going to pull out wins you're not expecting. So if he's there late and you can get him, great bench player, but he's not the Alvin Kamara from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's not, and it shows in game.
All right, next one up. Bryce Young will start the preseason opener for the Panthers. Your thoughts?
Have to. You got to get him out there and get him some reps. I know it's preseason. This isn't a situation where he's a veteran guy. You are trying to steal as many reps as possible to try and get him ready because he's your guy. He's going to be your day 1 starter, right? And you don't want to send him out there blind. You don't want to throw him into the fire out there blind. And even though it's preseason, you are playing with 80% NFL players out there, and you got 20% that aren't going to make the roster, maybe a little bit more than that. So he needs to see the bullets fly. It is a different game. You can go through practice, and look, practice is huge. You make practice more important than the game. The game's easy. But in the NFL, just like in college, it's one thing to do it in practice. It's another thing to do it under the lights. And you kind of get that debut out of the way a little bit. Not 100% because it's not a true regular season game. It doesn't affect your playoff chances or anything like that. But they picked up Justin Houston as well.
That was my next one.
Yeah, my bad. Didn't mean to jump right there. But I do think it's big to get him out there, get him used to the way it works, talking in the helmet, the communication, the way the game's played, and the speed of the game. I think it takes a little bit of pressure off that opening day start, and Bryce is already so mature. He just needs to go see it. So it's the right move. They're going to have him on a limited number of snaps, but you're trying to steal as many reps as possible to get him ready for week 1 in a division that
very winnable.
Even for the Panthers, very winnable.
Very winnable. Will Bryce start every regular season game?
If he doesn't get hurt, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's part of the question.
Take injury out of it.
Take injury out of it, yeah, I think he starts every game. He better not be in this game for more than a drive. I hate putting guys in
one drive?
A drive. Look, I know it's going to be a little bit faster. I think Bryce Young, if anybody's going to be used to the speed that he's seen. I think he was working on NFL speed in college. I just hate putting guys in games where it doesn't matter. Nothing about this game.
I disagree, because if this was year 2 with Bryce Young or year 3, if it didn't matter, they would not be playing him. This isn't Aaron Rodgers. They sometimes play guys late in the preseason just to get them a drive or two, but these are veterans that have been in there. It gets it out of the way. So you would rather Bryce Young not play a snap in the preseason at all, and then first game that does count by your theory, you put him out there. I just feel like that's a bad way. That's a dangerous game to play.
Well, you practice against the NFL defense every day.
Yeah, but practice in the game's different. There's guys that ball in practice all the time that you watch in practice, you're like, oh my God, this guy. Then you put him in the game and they shrivel.
Are you worried about that with Bryce Young?
Huh? I mean, I'm worried about that with every player that's never played in that next league.
I'm not worried about that with Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young, right now, you put him in first play, will be used to the speed that he's using right.
So if you wouldn't
play him a snap,
you wouldn't play him a snap.
I wouldn't play him a snap. No.
I think that's.
Can you
insane.
imagine Bryce Young getting hurt because you played him in a preseason game? We'd come on here and murder these guys.
No, we wouldn't.
We would murder these guys.
No, we wouldn't.
I don't know. I don't know if I would.
No, I would.
Aaron Rodgers, yeah. Aaron Rodgers doesn't need to be playing in the preseason, and he won't play in the preseason game either.
This is your all in. This is your guy. This is your great hope.
So you would rather just throw him into the fire? Just here you go. Good luck.
Like Bryce Young, yes. I'm willing to throw Bryce Young in the fire. He's in the fire every day.
I disagree.
Every day.
I'd play him that full first quarter, first game. See what happens.
So probably what?
See how he
drives?
feels.
About
probably 3 drives.
Okay.
Probably 3 drives.
Okay.
And then maybe
you have tape to work off of.
Maybe 2 or 3 drives in the second one, and then after that, if things are going well, hey. So let someone else play the other preseason games.
Yeah, let him go out there the first drive.
And if he gets hurt in 6 drives in the preseason, if he gets hurt in 6 drives, it wasn't going to look pretty in the regular season anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Am I wrong?
No.
Like you mentioned, hey, Justin Houston, my boy Justin Houston on a one-year deal for the Panthers coming over from the Ravens.
More vets you can have in that locker room, the better.
Love it. Eagles signed linebackers Miles Jack and Zach Cunningham both to 1-year deals, as if the Eagles couldn't get any better on either side of the ball.
It'd be pretty good.
Cowboys signed a 3-year extension with safety Malik Hooker. That's big for the Cowboys. Yep. Running back situation we've been talking about with the Colts a lot. So they signed running back Kenyon Drake, veteran there. And then the DeMarcus Ware Hall of Fame speech. You guys were talking about
man, a guy that went to Auburn High School, ended up going to Troy, was real thin coming out of high school. It's one of the reasons Auburn didn't take it. But let's go and play. I believe we have a clip here, Justine. Hello?
I thank God, and I think it's just so good that for the memories that he gives us, because we lost some guys too soon. Demarius Thomas, Ronnie Hillman, Marion Barber. I held some seats in my heart for you guys here today. Keep resting in peace, fellas.
DeMarcus Ware is one of the best human beings ever. He also told the story about when he was at Troy, guy got jumped in the parking lot, guy pistol whipped him basically. And when he knocked him down, the guy dropped a knife. And obviously in that situation, a lot of people would have picked up the knife and tried to stab the guy, but something was telling DeMarcus, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Just a very real, very raw, very emotional speech. I thought Zach Thomas was great as well. I thought all the speeches were great. Zach Thomas, my father, who coached in college for a while, said the one guy he missed on that he didn't take our offer was Zach Thomas.
Really?
Yep. Damn.
Zach
but
Thomas
you all,
so
I mean,
good. I grew up a Dolphins fan, so I love watching
it
Zach
said he's
Thomas.
too small. So he's too small. Which, look, I mean, you hit on some, you miss on some, but just kind of a funny story there. But crazy stuff, great stuff, from DeMarcus Ware. So, all right, get ready to call us here in a second, D?
Yep.
You let me know. Butcher Club line?
Yeah, let's go to Cole Frank, $2 donation. He says, David, you need a beard, not a mustache.
I think David needs a stash.
Think so?
See it.
I don't know. I'd be cool with regardless. Beard or stash.
Either one. Whatever sets me apart from Elon.
Absolutely. Let's go to Joseph Lavelle. $5 donation. Appreciate it, Joseph.
Dope.
No. Dang it. Flaming Dragon, it's time for you to read hockey names. Come on, guys.
Here we go.
All right. Noel Asari. You're completely wrong. Vlad. God.
You got this.
Vlad.
Yeah. Sounded
Nietzsche Skin.
Nietzsche Skin?
Oh, Nietzsche Skin.
Nietzsche Skin.
Can play,
Nietzsche
man.
Skin.
Luke Evangelista.
Yeah, that's probably
Jonas Seigenthaler and Timothy. How about you shut up, Jonas? How about that? I don't want to deal with this anymore.
All right. You getting some calls, Dave?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, first up, Jariah in Idaho. Jariah, what's going on?
Second one from Idaho. Cade was from Idaho last week. Jariah, what's up, man?
What's up? I was just calling in because on Friday's episode, Cone mentioned if it was possible to have a college football relegation, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a little thought experiment to see if it could be done, and I wanted to see what you guys thought.
Love it.
I love it.
So for this to work, we would have to cannibalize one of the group of fives since the Pac-12 is in the wind.
Yeah.
Bye.
100%.
So each group of four conference would have to affiliate with a Power 4 conference so the TV deal could be made.
Okay.
Then at the end of each year, the worst Power team would go against the worst group, the best group of 4 team to play a promotional/relegation game.
Okay. So integration-wise, you're saying that the group of 4, right, would have to come together, like merge the conference with now the Power 4, right?
Yes, they would affiliate with the conference.
So it would be like, would you say like Sunbelt would go with SEC?
Something like that. Yeah.
And like AAC would go with ACC?
Yeah, something like that, right?
Something like that, yeah? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah,
And
so,
I don't
for
think that would
example,
affect the other sports, right? I don't think that would affect the other sports. You could just have a college football oversight
Yeah.
of that.
I agree.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
So the worst
And
Power
then-
5 team in your rating system would play the best. Are we saying
Or would
group
it
of
be
4? It
2?
should be group of 5, right?
Group of 5.
Yeah, so we'd have group of 5 with the Power 4. So would you have to merge 2 group of 5 conferences?
Yeah, you'd have to cannibalize one of them.
You have to cannibalize 1. So you
Yeah.
cannibalize 1 each.
Okay.
Okay, I get that.
And then is it only one school for relegation, or do you have 2? I don't know how European soccer works. I don't know if it's multiple teams or just the worst one.
Yeah.
I would probably say just one.
Okay.
Okay.
So one moves up and one
And then-
moves down. It
Correct.
could work.
It could work.
And it's one of the only sports in America that could really work for relegation.
What else you got with it, Dry?
And then just for fun, if the game ends in a tie, we Billy Madison this thing and have an academic decathlon.
Academic decathlon. He's good.
Now you're really thinking.
I
outside
love
the
it.
box,
Jariah,
man. See,
great
that's what it
stuff.
takes, a little creativity, a little
Yeah.
leadership from the organization known as the NCAA.
Ooh, we should
Guess
we
we get
should run
nothing.
this. Jariah, you can do it if you want. It was your idea. Really run this ground ball out. Call in Wednesday and tell us which group of 5 would cannibalize itself, which group of 4 would merge with which now Power 4 because the Pac-12 is gone.
You know what we need? We need a chart. A
need a
chart
chart.
would really
This
do
feels
well.
like a
a chart with every team from the Power 5 conference and then the corresponding
This is
group
a
of 5
great idea.
or 4, I guess what it would be.
is
We need
why I
a
love
chart.
college.
Talking graphic?
We need a graph.
We need graph?
Well, we know who the graphic king is, or the king of getting graphic, depending on what county in Florida you're in.
That is true.
Our
We
boy,
do know
our boy
that.
Cody.
We do know him. Jariah, thanks a lot.
Great call, man.
Right,
Appreciate
good
it,
stuff,
buddy.
buddy.
Way to do
Call
the-
in
no,
Wednesday.
way to
Hey,
dig
call in
deep.
Wednesday with some more. Dive a little deeper. If you
Way to,
know.
way
love
to
thought
deep dive on
experiments.
there, man. Put the scuba gear
Great
on.
thought
Figure it out.
experiment,
Right.
David in Tampa. Oh, thank you, Jariah. David in Tampa. What's going on, David?
Tampa.
What up, guys? It's Smoking Gator here. How are you guys?
What is up?
Fucking
What is
Gators,
up?
baby. Love to hear it.
So, I have a question about the Pac-12, and I want to know at what point in the past can we look back and say that we should have seen this coming? Like we should have seen the demise of the Pac-12, maybe 2020, because a mass exodus like this doesn't just happen. Like this had to have been planned for quite some time now.
Mm-hmm. David, here's what I think. Whenever you have a situation like this, most of the time, and I think including this time, I think it was a lot of bad decisions that led up to this. I don't think it's just one instance in time. I think it's multiple instances. I think you could go back. I mean, you can go back to talk about how they did the Pac-12 network, how they rolled that thing out. You can talk about kind of the arrogance a little bit, and it's not just George Klykoff. I think it's got a lot to do with a lot of the ADs in the past from the Pac-12. I think it's multiple things. I think if you go back through time and you look at some of the decisions, whenever something big ends up like this, and I'm with you, I think the wheels have been turning on this for a while. And listen, the crazy thing is, any rational person knows that college football is bigger in spots than it is in others. And on the West Coast and out there, not in every spot, in aggregate, together, you were never going to have a deal that was as good as the SEC's or the Big Ten's, right? And you didn't expect that, but you went about it in an arrogant way instead of saying, you know what, we know the deal's not going to be that big. Maybe we need to go ahead and get a deal done early that we feel good about, make smart decisions that we can protect ourselves. Because say what you want about the ACC, right? They got that grant of rights deal done.
Yep.
And it's through, what, 2036? Mm-hmm. They got that done early. It wasn't, oh, we're the ACC, we have Florida State and Clemson, we can sit here and wait, and we're really the hottest chick at the ball. No. They got it done. I think the arrogance of the Pac-12 over time is what cost them.
Yeah, it doesn't go all the way back to 2020 because think it was just 2021 when Texas and Oklahoma were leaving the Big 12. The Pac-12 had plenty of opportunity right after that.
Right.
When another conference is reeling, that was the conference we thought was going to collapse. The Pac-12 made bad decisions over the last 12 months and 24 months. And our buddy Steve Dace over at The Blaze put out a great thread on this yesterday. I would encourage everyone to go to Twitter and read that. David, you still there?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought my connection broke up there. But yeah, that's that is a good point. It's just, it's just so baffling because you would think that no matter what, that there's no way a major conference like the Pac-12, would come to this. So it's just amazing how everything has unfolded here.
Yeah, and David, it's different than the Big 12 situation. A lot of people left the Big 12 for dead, but the Big 12 had just lost 2 teams and they stopped the bleeding, right? It's like all of a sudden, you see the medic and the war movies. Oh, you got to stop the bleeding, stop the bleeding. You either stop the bleeding or you bleed out and die. The Pac-12 started bleeding and they were on like blood thinners times 1,000. I mean, that conference got dismantled so quickly. Once all it takes is a little bit of a push, and everybody says, oh, this team instigated the fall of the Pac-12. No, the Pac-12 instigated the fall of the Pac-12. Any other argument, that's just making excuses. You did it to yourself. Look in the mirror. But, David, when you look in the mirror, you see that smoking gator and you enjoy it, my friend.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Another interesting dynamic I just thought of is we were talking about USC and UCLA leaving the conference this year and how every other team wanted to sort of beat up on them and not let them win the conference in their last year. Now it's different because all of them are going.
Look at this year.
It's like
this year's going to be nuts.
It's going to be nuts across the country. Clint in Texas. What's going on, Clint?
Hey, guys. How are y'all?
What's up, man?
What's up, Clint?
Johnson T.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. So I have my own question, but I'm kind of piggybacking off hearing what Jariah was saying, too. So I thought the other day, and I'm trying to claim it as my own because I haven't seen it anywhere else, but what do y'all think about conference realignment based on time zones? There's already a natural breakup and division of the country that way.
Yeah.
You keep people in the same area, get rid of jet lag with all the smaller sports. You could have multiple conferences in each time zone, but also based on, like I said, kind of piggybacking dry a little bit too. You could have the relegation built into that too.
Yeah, well, look, if you're going to do it within the same time zone, that at least keeps some regionality, right? Because, you're at least in the zip code or the area code of where the other teams are. See, to me, that's the whole point of having conferences. There's a reason that some conferences are literally named after the cardinal directions of where the conference is. The Southeastern Conference, the Atlantic Coast Conference, like the Mountain West, the Sun Belt Conference. That's not a cardinal direction, but so that to me is the whole point of conferences. Because now, if geography doesn't matter, and every sport generates different revenue and has different budgetary options, and you're not doing a rev share, why would college football just not get out of the conferences, which means get out of the SEC and make your own divisions, or just everybody be independent, right? Pete, schools that were independent, schools that were independent chose to be independent because that was within their ability to do that, right? Well, hey, we can be independent, so we will be independent. So now, unless you're going to build some sort of, and it really still doesn't even matter, even build some sort of bridge, I guess, because like Washington and Oregon going to the Big Ten is great. It helps build that bridge a little bit, but that's not going to help all the smaller sports that have to travel to go play Iowa. So really what needs to happen, in my opinion now, and I think Drinkwitz was right, what Eli Drinkwitz was talking about, to a certain extent, even though Missouri left the Big 12 to go to the SEC, but I can regionality, you can make that argument that it's really not that big of a deal. But like, why would the NCAA football now, to help the smaller sports, why would you not get out of the mainstream, become your own thing, and everybody's just independent, right? Everybody's or you could do your conference thing how you do it now, or do divisions like they have in the NFL. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at the NFL divisions. All right, we got Buffalo, New York, and Miami in the same division.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. We got Philadelphia and Dallas in the same division. We got Carolina. I mean, you look at the NFC South, that's somewhat regional, but like it really doesn't matter. I mean,
it's different with all those big cities. That's the thing about colleges is like these are smaller college towns, which the regionality. But the time zone thing makes way too much sense, Clint. All right, if you want to get your ideas passed in the NCAA, you're gonna need them to make a lot dumber.
You better be more confused.
What do you think? They'll be saying like things that make sense out here.
Yeah,
that's
Clint,
not how we.
You better watch out.
All right, here we cause controversy. Clint.
Yeah.
When I go pitch this idea, I gotta dumb it down a
lot.
You're gonna have to show
down, buddy.
You're gonna have to show up in a Trojan horse.
Yeah.
You're going to have to just like try and let them let you in the city with this idea when they hear it. Like you're going to have to come back and try and trick them. Basically, or be like, Appreciate it, Clint.
Great call, have a good one, man.
Thanks, guys.
Cody in Illinois.
All right.
What's on the docket today, Cody?
All right. Who's ready for a QB 10 update?
Come on.
Let's do it.
Come on.
What's the record right now? 4-0?
So Michigan is 4-0.
All right, and he started at David Cone.
To play the Little Brown Jug.
Yes, David Cone, and this is an NCAA football video game.
Blake Corum's banged up, isn't he?
Well, this is 2006.
This
so
2006.
No, Mike Hart.
I thought
Mike Hart.
I didn't know we had.
I do want to tell everybody, if you don't know,
Cone.
if you just started watching the show, by the way, hit that subscribe button. We're almost to 100K. He is doing NCAA 14, a dynasty with David Cone, the freshman quarterback at Michigan. Started off 4-0.
Starting as a true freshman.
Which
didn't happen in real life. But I like it.
All right, so this is NCAA 07.
07, even better.
Yeah, and yes, Mike Hart is out this week and next week.
And who they got this week?
Little Brown Jug.
So this is the Little Brown Jug in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, I don't like it.
We're going.
You're due for a bad game.
I feel good about it.
This is it.
Come on, Cody.
It's more athletic.
So we're not wrong on the due for a bad game. We're going to start with the stats on that note. So we got 10 of 25.
Oh, that's not good enough.
8 yards.
138.
One touchdown and 4 interceptions.
Oh, David, you fumbled the bag.
You can't win like that. 4?
Now,
what's the score?
Luckily to a good defense and a decent run game by the backup running back.
Carlos Brown.
The score is 24-18. Michigan.
Yeah, we're still winning, baby.
Skeptical hippo about this.
Well, a lot of people are asking a lot of questions.
This defense definitely held the game together because they held Minnesota to 180 yards.
Yeah, we did.
Of offense. And,
wow, we did.
It made it to where 4 interceptions didn't matter. But going forward, getting further into Big Ten play, interceptions like that is not going to win us games.
It's not. You ought to walk into the defensive meeting rooms Monday. Hey,
we got handing out a lot of cinnamon buns.
You're going to walk in, I'm just going to be playing your interception. Yeah. This bad was rewind it.
Right.
Rewind it.
Cody, who do you got next?
So next week, we got the little brother in
Michigan
in the big
State.
house.
That's four picks isn't going to do it.
No. Don't let the Cretans get in there and get you.
Hey, we brought that jug back to Ann Arbor, though.
As I was scrolling around on the game, I noticed that Michigan State has a Heisman hopeful. They have the number 2 guy in the Heisman watch at quarterback, and quarterback number 5. And
Is
I
it
looked
Kirk
this up.
Cousins?
Who's that? Who's that? Kirk?
This is Drew Stanton.
Drew
one of my favorite
Stanton.
NFL backups.
Drew Stanton.
So here's the thing. Don't let Drew Stanton. They would love Sparty would love nothing more than to come in the big house. What's Michigan ranked right now?
Michigan is number 7 in the nation.
Yeah, number 7. They can have a Heisman hopeful. We're bringing Paul Bunyan back to Ann Arbor. That's how it's going to be.
Wow, Cody, great stuff, bud.
4 picks.
Great stuff, bud. Let us know. You got to let us know how this goes. I'm worried now.
Rewinding it.
I'm legitimately worried now. The 4 picks got me
How do you
worried.
not see that safe?
Hey, would you throw the check down?
How do you
Would
not
you
see
just
that
throw
safety?
the check down?
We worked on it every day in practice. Every day.
Tell him, Coach.
Hey, Ricardo, get up here, left guard. How's it feel when you're out there blocking your ass off and our quarterback doesn't do his homework?
Yeah.
How's it feel? True freshman.
I hear worried about
You just think you're the best, don't you? Do it next week. Do it next week, see where you are.
Sorry.
See little Billy behind you?
Sorry,
He's
Coach.
been waiting.
5-star.
Walk on. Just loves the game. Just loves the game.
Stetson?
No.
Little Billy.
Little
Sorry,
Billy.
Coach. Thank you, Cody.
Cody,
The
thanks.
good guys win again against all odds. Josh in North Carolina.
Yes.
What's the word, Josh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, bud?
So I kind of went on a crazy vacation week, I guess you would call it, because we had a family reunion in Canton, Ohio. So I got to go to Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Then after that, we went to Niagara Falls for a couple days. And then after that,
Fancy.
I got to see how the other half lives in New York City, which I will say I now see why a lot of people are leaving.
Is it
New York
bad?
City.
Never been.
I've never been to New York City. I'd want to go for like
It
2
was
days.
fine.
45 minutes.
The pizza was amazing, though.
Where'd you
We're
go?
going
They
just
said
for-
Joe's Pizza. They said Joe's Pizza's the best. Which one did you go to?
I went to John's of Bleecker Street.
Sounds good.
God, that does
Lower
sound
Manhattan,
good.
I believe so. It was.
That
good.
does sound
Yeah.
really good.
Hey, do you think pineapples belong on pizza?
Yes, I do, but other people might disagree. So I don't know.
Pineapple. Cut the call. Cut the call.
No, look, I agree with you. I like good pineapple. Hawaiian pizza? How do you
It's
think?
not- you gotta
How are they
make it-
supposed to eat it in Hawaii?
You got to make it pointy.
Yeah,
spirit.
how are they supposed to eat it in
Right,
Hawaii if they can't
right.
put pineapples on it? Selfish.
Yeah, exactly. I did want to mention some of the stuff I saw in the Pro Football Hall of
Come
Fame
on.
that I thought might interest y'all. So, me and Blaine's worst nightmare came to be Tim Tebow is somehow in the Hall of Fame, and it is because of the playoff game against the Steelers, and they have his jersey. It's on
From
the
one
second floor,
slant
and-
touchdown pass?
Tim Tebow literally throw a check down after and be like, all right, get him in there. Get him in there, guys. He's the best we've ever seen. Put him in there. It's just amazing.
Look, the argument that he was overrated in college is a horrible argument.
It's not.
It's a
not. He was
horrible
overrated
argument.
in college.
But I will sit here and stand in solidarity with you. He belongs nowhere near the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
This is insane.
All right, yes.
One slant
Exactly.
route touchdown in the
And
playoffs.
Right. And so I think it's Kirk from Canada. He calls a lot about the Canadian Football League. And
Yeah.
there's some stuff I found in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We were essentially the Canadian Football League before they were, because I'm trying to find it. So this is back in 1892 when pro football began.
That was a great year.
You had 3 downs to advance 5 yards for a first down. Then in 1906, the distance increased to 10 yards. And then in 1912, we finally had the 4th down in football. And lastly, a football field measured 110 yards in length and included a 55-yard line. And since the forward pass was not legal, end zones weren't necessary. So just, I don't know if you knew any
Well,
of those
no,
facts,
I
but,
didn't know. So I just wonder if they freaked out like we freaked out.
that's what I was
every
going to
time a
say.
rule changes.
Like, you're freaking about
They're going to get a 4th down.
Yeah, they're
like,
freaking out
no,
conference
you-
realignment.
Like, you can just see them like
You're
in
ruining
like
our sport.
No, in like
They moved
the
first
building.
down to 10 yards.
Yeah, like they're in there like the schoolhouse where they all meet. They're like, I will not stand for this, Reggie. I will not stand for a 4th down. You, sir, are an embarrassment.
Order!
Like, I just love how they argue back then.
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
That's awesome, Josh.
great stuff, Josh. Send some pics if you got
Yeah.
some.
All right, will do. Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy. See you, man. Logan in Texas. Logan's Roadhouse?
I don't know.
Logan, is it your
Red Roll's
Roadhouse
top
or
tier.
what?
The rolls there are
Top
fire.
tier.
No, I'm originally from Missouri.
Okay, nice.
That's cool too.
Start off with saying thank you guys for the shout out on Tuesday.
Oh, is this Logan Stockman?
Yeah.
Hey, Logan, congrats,
I
man.
saw
Look,
that on
Keenan's
Twitter.
the man.
That was
Keenan's
awesome.
the man. No, congrats to you, brother. Appreciate it.
Yep. And then second, call sign is empty.
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 Nice.
Yeah.
We're talking
Well,
about formation? Are we
five
talking about
wide, five
formation?
wide.
Hey, let's go. Get up. Get
Hey,
up.
we're
Get
here.
up.
We're here.
Empty.
We're here.
Easy, 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 easy. Can. Good. That's the sign right there. Show it to him. Right there.
The three on the right hand.
Go ahead.
Who's your guys' SEC dark horse? You can't pick Alabama or Georgia, of course, but who do you guys think will win the SEC?
I think LSU
Or LSU.
If it wasn't those two.
Yep. Okay. I would say. Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, and then do you think Drinkowitz and my Missouri Tigers will be able to make a bowl this year?
Okay. Logan, again, congratulations, my friend. We appreciate your service. And we're about to go rapid fire around SEC Dark Horse. Go, David.
Okay, so my gut was leaning towards Arkansas, but when we saw that schedule the other day, we broke down that schedule, and it's just like the road games are just
Yeah, talking about Missouri? Arkansas. Sorry.
No, Arkansas. So I think for Dark Horse, I actually will go Tennessee, and here's why. Just on the off chance that after a year of sitting behind Hendon Hooker, that Joe Milton has figured it out, and maybe Georgia doesn't get the type of quarterback play they're expecting, Tennessee could win the East. If you win the East and make it to the conference championship game, you could win one game. Yeah. I'll go with Tennessee.
Yep, Joe Milton, one of the biggest question marks, but he's a hinge player. If he's able to figure it out, I think Tennessee's good enough around him. They do get Georgia at home. If we're talking about winning the conference, not who can finish second, I think Kentucky may have a chance to finish second in the East. That may surprise some people. I got to go Tennessee.
Go Tennessee?
Interesting.
Oh, really?
I mean, to win the league, with no LSU, no Bama, or Georgia.
Super dark horse. Give me the Kentucky Wildcats.
I thought you'd go Texas.
To win the SEC.
Give me the Kentucky Wildcats to win the SEC.
That's a dark.
One
that's
thing,
the
I mean,
darkest
Devin Larry, new quarterback in here, can spin it with those one of the best balls. Obviously, it was a letdown to NC State. Maybe a bounce back year for the kid. And Steve's always got those guys good on the front seven on defense, and they can always do what? Turn around and run the ball.
Yeah.
If you can
Last
run the
year they
ball
couldn't, but typically
and run the ball and stop the run, I always give you a chance, especially if you're a dark horse. I think you throw South Carolina in the mix as well.
Here's this middle of this Arkansas schedule I was talking about. At LSU, Texas A&M neutral site, at Ole Miss, at Alabama, Mississippi State at home, at Florida, Auburn at home.
Somebody kill me.
Not a lot of great SEC
please.
schedules
6,
out
7.
there. I promise you that.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to go, what, 2 LSU and then 2 Bama? Is that what you said?
Kentucky.
Yes.
Missouri, I
And to
think,
Ole Miss and to Florida.
yeah, just to answer your second one, Logan, quickly, I think Missouri does make a bowl game. I like Brady Cook.
Yeah.
I think he's going to win the job.
I like it. All right, thanks, Logan.
Logan,
Congrats
thanks,
again,
Logan.
man.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Tell Keenan we said what's up.
Steve in Ohio. Steve, what's up, man?
Steve.
Hey.
Stevie.
What's up, Stevie?
All right. Who's ready to play Who Did What?
Let's do it. Stop saying what
Get
I
out of
say
my
at the
head.
same time. Get out of my head.
I will name 3 players and get 4 stats. One of the stats will apply to all 3 players.
We get one of these
The
right.
other 3 stats will apply to 1 player each.
Gotcha.
All right. To win the game, you need to identify the stat that applies to all 3 players without using electronic devices.
All right, I'm not going to get electronic out here.
All right. I can give 1 clue if you need help,
Okay.
but it'll cost you if you still get the question wrong.
Okay.
All right. The clue will be that you can pick 1 player, and I will reveal the stat that only applies to him.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And if you still get it wrong, then Jake has to denounce baked ribs from France.
I love that. I agree. Steve, 100%.
Agreed.
Let's do it.
All right. The players are Mike Trout from the Angels, Freddie Freeman from the Braves, and Trey Turner from the Nationals. And the stats are from the 2020 season, the COVID season.
Okay.
All right, the stats are an OPS over 1,100, over 40 RBIs, over 15 home runs, and over 75 hits. All right, now who did what?
God, the 75 hits
It's
is
a
sound because
scream.
I don't know
Is
how
it
many
too
home
obvious,
runs did
though?
Trey hit.
How did
It's
they
not
not
home
all
runs.
hit 15 home runs?
No, wait. Well, you
Well, it
said
was
that last
60?
time on the touchdowns that it was too obvious, and that ended up being what it was.
Okay.
How many
So don't-
games was it
I don't
again?
think I don't.
How many games were in the COVID year?
They played.
60.
60. That's
60.
right. 60.
60.
I don't think Trey hit 15 home runs in 60 games.
I think that it'll be like the 13-14 game when it comes to Trey Turner on home runs.
Mm.
Just the hits. It makes too much.
How many hits was it?
70.
75.
75.
So that's so if you went 1 for 4 in every game. The OPS. OPS over 1100. Remember what OPS is?
I know. I think it's OPS.
I thought you thought it was hits.
It feels too obvious to me. It's a trick.
The last one, the touchdown
I feel like
passes with
that.
Okay, then it's hits, guys. All right.
I feel like it's OPS.
You guys decide.
What do you don't know?
No, Dave, don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
I think it's home runs. No, I'm just kidding.
What do you think?
Which one do you think it is?
Let's go with hits.
You want to go hits?
We'll go
We're
with
trusting
hits.
the
All right,
plane
let's go
here.
hits.
All right, we're going hits.
You sure you don't want a clue?
Yes. Don't reverse psychology me, Steve.
The correct answer was over 40 RBIs.
I forgot
40
about.
yards.
Oh God, I forgot about the RBI.
Oh, I
one.
forgot about the RBI.
I forgot.
Oh man.
60 games.
40 RBIs in
crazy.
60 games.
Yeah.
Trey Bat's leadoff. Or was he
The,
in the two?
the OPS over 1100 was Freddie Freeman. He had 1102.
What was Trout?
Trout was the over 15 home runs. He
Yeah.
had 17.
Yeah.
And Turner was over 75 hits. Let's see, Trout had 46 RBIs, Freddie Freeman had 53 RBIs, and Trey Turner had 41 RBIs.
Steve, one day we're going to get one of these.
Steve, don't worry.
Well,
Your time's coming.
I tried to throw you a softball and give you a clue, but you wouldn't take it.
We don't want any
Real
softballs. We're
softball.
fast.
we
pitchers.
don't want any
softball.
softballs. We
Already
play
got let
mentally.
down on a
Sorry,
Sunday
I don't know
in the
Freddie
playoffs.
Freeman's OPS in the 2020 season.
3 seed. We lost to the 7 seed. Throw up.
There's no way they were the 7 seed.
They were the 7 seed.
Oh, the heck
Y'all will
were we
make
the
it up.
third?
Y'all make it up. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
See you, man. All right, one more. Aiden in Michigan. Aiden, you got 60 seconds. What's going on?
Hutchinson?
Good morning, boys. How are you doing?
What's
Aiden,
up,
what's up,
Aiden?
bud?
All right. So there has been a whole lot of turmoil and sadness in the college football world. So I wanted to turn away from football and ask you a question of levity. Right now, if Jeremy Boring walked in the studio and said, Crain and Company boys, I want you to put together the Daily Wire softball team, who would be your starting lineup? You are allowed to include yourselves.
Oh,
we
God,
will.
Aiden, first off, this
Well,
is a
that's
great
3
question.
spots.
First off, playing short is your boy.
You play softball with some.
What we got to do? We got to do positions first and then bat in order.
Is there anybody you're plucking from Daily Wire that you're pulling over from the team that you're on, or no? You bringing Justine on the team?
Yeah, Charlie can come play.
Thanks.
Charlie's on the team. There she
Hold on,
is.
let's get through the positions first before
Okay.
you start just pulling girls over here.
I'll play first.
We're talking co-ed league? Is co-ed league?
No, it's I mean, let's fill out the roster first before you start
Okay.
trying to moneyball this thing.
All right, so you're playing short.
I'm short. Where are you at? You at second?
No, the thing about it is if it comes to softball, like you got to think like main positions, best players. All right, so I'll probably play center.
I'll play first.
See, we not like at kind of like we'd probably need you at third.
Third?
Third or in the outfield. You're too good to be playing first.
Yeah.
Then I'll play-
First
then
is
I'll
where
play.
you just got to be able to catch.
That- you
So
get
who do we
left.
think-
Then I'll
Hey,
play. Then I'll play
Hey,
left.
so what do you think? Do we?
Is it
you
4
think
to the
Walsh-
outfield
do
or
you think
3?
Walsh plays first? Are we feeling Walsh can catch?
Yeah,
You
let's
think
All
go.
right,
Walsh
and the
at
first
first.
one. All right, and the
Thought
first
Walsh
time,
could catch.
and the first time you barehand one and you throw it over there and it bounces and he doesn't pick it and you don't yell at me to come play first.
Well, hey,
Like,
make a
what
good
is
throw.
the pick?
Make a good throw.
Nah, I'm gonna make a good throw. Don't worry about my throws. Don't worry
We'll
about
put
my throws.
Shapiro
okay.
second.
All right, so the first
We
time
put
you bounce
Shapiro
one,
second.
don't yell at me
Ben's
to
got
come
some
play
witch
first.
in him.
We'll put
So I'm at
Shapiro-
short. Walsh
Shapiro
at first.
definitely plays
Shapiro at
second.
second.
yeah, Shapiro's this.
Cone's at third. You're in center.
We put
Andrew Clavin can catch. He can be the catcher.
we're gonna put Clavin in right.
No, Spencer. We need to put Spencer Clavin in
Yeah.
right.
Put Spencer in right.
We'll put Andrew Clavin at catcher.
Catcher.
Let's
Yeah.
see, like, okay. All right, who we missing? Who's pitching?
Who is pitching?
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Okay.
I watched
JB.
JB's pitching.
JB. Is it 4 to the outfield or 3?
I'm going 3, just 9.
It's 4.
Are we going 4?
It is 4, isn't it?
4.
You got 10 out there?
Yeah, so Justine play right.
I made it.
So
Can she catch? You're just throwing people out here to make
Well, I'm
people
not
feel
gonna
good.
not
You're
bring her
going-
over
for-
I don't
That's
care about
rude.
facts. Don't care about your feelings. We're
I'm
trying
not
to
gonna
put
bring
together
her
the best team.
all right.
Good God.
That is
Gotta get
great out
Davies.
Stop.
there.
Hold
Davies-
on.
Davies
Blaine's
and
gonna get.
Knowles.
This is why they didn't make the play. This is why they got booted out of the playoffs.
We can put Davies.
Is Knowles on the team?
Davies.
Davies right center.
Davies
can
right
play.
center. We still haven't decided right yet. We've got center field you.
Yeah.
Davies in right center.
On the left.
Who's playing left? Clavin's in right. Spencer
turn.
Clavin's in right.
I'm in left.
And who's playing left?
All right,
David's in left.
So we need a third baseman.
We need a third baseman.
Can't be Knowles.
Can't be Knowles.
Can't be Knowles.
Can't be Knowles.
But we can't not have Knowles. Run out of
Knowles,
spots.
Knowles can be stat keeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that.
Water
And
boy.
Pavel can coach.
Pavel
at third.
But Pavel at third.
There
it is.
I have to see
the
him
Polish
throw it
Express.
That's fine.
across the
The Polish
Pavel at
Express.
third.
I can trust. I believe in Pavel.
Yeah. That's
Who we missed? I feel like we're missing somebody.
Well, look. We can only do so
I
much.
think you're missing Walsh.
No,
Walsh is at first. Walsh is at first.
Walsh is at first.
Yeah,
good.
Walsh
That's
is
good
at
defense
first.
right there.
Okay, now batting order, real quick. Who's leading off? Shapiro leading off, you think?
Let's put Bennett
Maybe
lead off.
you.
Let's put Bennett lead off.
Crain will hit second.
Yeah, I need to hit
Okay.
second. Blaine, you need to hit third.
Probably.
Yeah,
fourth.
you need to hit.
Probably
No, you need to
fourth.
hit third. You get more at bats. Statistically, third gets more
Okay,
at bats.
I'll go third. Cody fourth. Fifth, Phelan Walsh. Like Walsh
I
can.
feel like Davies. I feel like Davies.
Walsh can run into a couple softballs.
You think Walsh could run into it?
Then
All
we
right.
Then we roll Davies.
At 6,
All right. 7.
Jeremy Boring.
JB.
JB.
Then we go Spencer.
Spencer 8, and then
Then-
Pavel 9th.
Pavel 9th.
Yeah, there it is. Aiden, there it is. Congrats.
Wait, one small problem. What is Brett doing?
Team coach.
First base coach.
Yeah, Brett's first base coach. First base
Yeah.
coach.
There we go.
First base
Yeah, I
coach.
think she's got the energy for that. That's
100%.
fantastic. Thank you for that. I'm not going to lie. I think you could probably beat my Detroit Tigers. So
Hey, listen, at this point,
Who knows?
yeah, especially considering I've bet on them a couple times. They let me down. But Aiden, appreciate it, buddy.
Great call, man.
Couple others on the line. Y'all use Pongo on Wednesday. all
Yes,
right?
Go,
Wednesday. Who do we got?
Pongo.
Who's on there, David?
Oh, I
So we
just
know.
closed it.
That's all right.
I think it was Matthew. I think it was a couple of.
Call in Wednesday.
Call in Wednesday. We'll move you straight
Michael,
to the front of
sorry.
Matthew, Michael. My middle name. Anyways, Saturday went 3-3, and look, I'm going to be honest. We're honest here. All right. Love my wife.
Oh, no.
She picked one bet where I was scrolling through DraftKings Saturday. She's like, "Hey, I like the Cubs. Pick the Cubs." And sometimes when it happens organically like that,
Yeah.
you go with it and it hits.
The feel.
So what am I thinking? Right? Because right now, I'm going to be honest. I'm just trying to get through this until football season. Okay. At this point, I've lost all interest in betting on baseball. If we're going to be honest, like I'm not even judging myself on it anymore because we've done it for so long, and I have one a couple months. At this point, I'm just trying to get to August 26th for the love of God. I'm not talking about preseason, the NFL. I'm talking about when we're actually playing August 26th. So I let her pick half the games yesterday.
Okay.
It's on me.
We know.
It's not on her. It's on me. All right. Went 0 for Gopher. For the first time in the history of me on Crain and
went
Company,
0 for
went 0 for
6?
Gopher. 0 for Gopher. Well, I went 0-3. But she's my wife. She has my last name now.
You went 0-6.
Well, I went 0-3. She went 0-3.
Okay. You went 0-6. Read your
Ipso
back.
facto.
We'll see. She'll
I'm
tell
your
us in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So today, I really don't even care. I'm not even mad about it anymore.
Oh my goodness.
Tigers, Twins, Nerfy, -115. Yankees, White Sox, Nerfy, -140. Y'all read
I
y'all.
want that one too. Yankees, White Sox, Nerfy, Dylan Cease on the mound. I think Garrett Cole's on the mound. And then Spencer
Garrett Cole will give
Strider.
up 2 in the top.
Yeah.
Or in the bottom. He'll give up 2 in the bottom.
Maybe I should stay away from that one.
Nah, he will. Watch, he will because I picked it.
And then Spencer Strider for the Braves gets the win. That's -145. -140 on the first one.
I love it. Who cares about my bets? Nobody, especially not me.
You're up 8. You're up 9 units.
Who cares?
No, Cone's up 9 units.
Good. Let's stay up.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Can I read my bets? Thank you. Rangers -1.5, -140. I think they're playing the A's on the road. Feel great about it. Give me Boston, moneyline -190. Got the Royals at home. Take care of your business, boys. Let's be grown-ups.
Baby Cone got that same bet -130.
Well, I'm getting okay. Yeah,
get your odds.
Texas Rangers -1.5 at minus a dirty 130.
There you go.
All right, Baby Cubs going to take the Cubs money line. Is that plus 100, David?
Plus 100.
Cubs money line, plus 100.
All right, real quick, I'm going to get some donations.
Get to 'em.
Jeff Drew, and $10 donation. Anybody see who won the Cubs Brave series this weekend?
Yes, Jeff, we did.
Hashtag
Hold on, let me look at the
fly through.
standings real quick. Yeah, let me pull up these standings real quick before you move on.
Cubs are,
Let's see. Oh, man. Oh, the Cubs are 1.5 back. I wonder if it's like to be second in the division. What are the Braves? Oh, we're up 10.5 games.
All right, let's go to Blaine's Bucket Step. $10 donation. Love that. Y'all think Clemson will be a sneaky team this year?
I don't think they're going to sneak up on anybody. I think they may end up winning the conference. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, Cade Klubnik, the dude, I know DJ, you struggle. Watch out for Cade.
Sad Chinchilla, $5 donation. Want to wish my son Hezekiah a happy level up day yesterday, level 1. Let's make you a happy Chinchilla.
Happy Chinchilla.
Happy Chinchilla. Happy birthday. Happy level up day.
Chinchilla.
All right, let's get the poll. Who would win in a power slap fight?
Ooh.
Me, Jake, David.
Blaine.
I would say they said Blaine, but I think a lot to do with the power slap isn't just like how big you are. I think there's like an actual like legitimate, like, because I've watched.
Do you think my reach would?
Well, there's a reason they don't have weight classes, right? Like, is that what you said, Blaine?
Well, yeah, the videos I saw was 300-pound plus man hitting a guy who's 150 soaking wet.
That's what I'm saying.
So if neither one of us, like if you got 3 slaps and I got 3 slaps and neither one of us falls, do they go to a score? Like a judge?
I think it's a decision, yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out this week. We're flying out to Vegas to see.
I'd
say they said Blaine 52%.
I'll say Blaine 51%.
All right, they went Blaine 38%.
Wow.
David 54%. Jake 8%.
I tell you what.
I don't know.
I'm gonna start power.
I like the confidence though.
That's what's about to happen.
I wonder.
I created y'all. I brought y'all in this world. I can take y'all's ass out. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
Good job today, boys. Got a great show planned for tomorrow. Like I said, we're going to Vegas this week too for the power slap situation. Do not miss that. It's gonna be some great content. Shout out Dana White. Make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get to 100K. And hey, let's get to football season, baby. It's almost here. It's almost here. Like the chances of us being upset about any changes once that first kickoff happens, we're going. God.